Hey, so remember when I said I only read my comics when I'm in the when I have time? It's in the bathroom. Well, I kind of had a bad night. So yeah, I managed to read Spider-Man: Spider's Shadow all of 2 days. Yeah, so this is, again, part of the haul from my good friend Chris, a.k.a. the Mount Vernon Kid. Thank you once again, Chris. And, yeah, this is, for those who probably know, yes, this is the Chip Zdarsky Spider-Man What If comic. The new part of the new What If line, which is probably going to only be this book, and possibly if Zdarsky writes another one. Now, admittedly, this doesn't have as much nuance or, as I would say, praise. The Spider Shadow usually gets thrown under the bus because it's not as big as Zdarsky's other alternate universe Spider-Man comic. Don't worry, we'll get to that one at some point. But yeah, we're going to talk about Spider-Man Spider's Shadow. Now, obviously, I just said the title 3 times. So what is Spider-Man Spider's Shadow? Spider-Man Spider's Shadow is, like I said, a what-if comic, but in this story, what if Peter Parker became Venom? Yeah. So, and yes, I'm well aware there have probably been what-if comics where, in the 80s, where it's like, what if Peter Parker never gave up the black suit? Or something like that nature. But basically, Spider-Man in this one, this does take place in the symbiote storyline, the black suit era. And it's a very different take where the symbiote is kind of digging more and faster into Peter's psyche, and it leads to him going down a much darker path. Now, this is a 5-issue miniseries that's almost like the best way to describe this is a horror comic, in a way. Like, the first 3 issues are straight up horror. And the other 2 issues are superhero story. That's really what it is like 3-issue horror, 2-issue superhero. And what I mean by that is that we follow Peter, and now he's going around killing, starting with Hobgoblin after the death of Aunt May. Yeah, in this one, Aunt May dies, killed by in a fight with the Hobgoblin, and yeah, it only goes down from there. There are some chilling moments. People forget how powerful Peter is as a character. A lot of people forget how powerful Spider-Man is as a character. And Zdarsky seems to be one of the only 10 writers at Marvel who seem to realize, oh yeah, Spider-Man could really fucking kill a lot of his enemies if he really wanted to. He could just end a lot of characters in the Marvel universe, and that really shows here. This is a cool little alternate universe where we see Spider-Man just annihilate his opponents left and right, all of his major enemies. I say major because there are a few changes here and there. There's one scene where, after killing Shocker and Scorpion, he goes back with those severed limbs of his enemies to Kingpin, who hired them to kill him, and Fisk is it's so interesting, that May Parker person who died in that fire caused by Hobgoblin. It seemed like they had a nephew, isn't that right, Peter? And I did a little backstory on you, a little background check on you, and you have nothing. No family, no girlfriend. So why don't you and Peter just caves in Fisk's face with one punch. Kind of reminding me it's kind of very reminiscent of when Peter beat the shit out of Fisk in the Back in Black story, written by Peter David. So in this storyline, furthering is that we have a few other changes. Obviously, there are a few things in here where I'm I guess that's cool. One, Eddie Brock doesn't play a big role in here. What he does is kill Dr. Octopus and take his harness and become, and I quote, he basically becomes, and I quote, Brock Ock. So Brock Ock is the dumbest thing, but I think Zdarsky knew that. It's just Eddie Brock with tentacles. And in here, the best line in the entire comic is when he's facing off with the Venomized Spider-Man, and Brock's like, "You took everything from me," and Peter goes, "Buddy, I don't know who the fuck you are," and just knocks his ass out. It's hilarious. It's like, that's the best part of this entire comic. It's a lot of fun. Again, like, there's some great dichotomy between Peter and Jonah, as well as Peter's relationship with the Fantastic Four. There is really well put together action scenes. Like I said, the second and third issue are straight up just Spider-Man being a horror character. There is some. It's a really wonderful comic and a wonderful story of celebrating Peter and who he is, and also Zdarsky really clearly loves Peter and MJ together. So, why aren't you Dear Marvel, why aren't you letting Zdarsky write more for Spider-Man? I mean, I know Zdarsky's big, but, like, you need to give him full reins of the Spider-Man comic. I have no problem with, like, I think it's Zeb Wells who's taking over for Spider-Man full-time after the Beyond storyline is done, but, like, Zdarsky, though, I know he's doing something big in Daredevil, but he clearly, like, he did Spectacular. Why isn't he doing the big title in Amazing? Anyway, so this is a neat little what-if story. I think the ending is fine. It does kind of wrap up a little too fast. I think this could have benefited from being a six-issue miniseries than a 5-issue, which it is. The Brock Ock thing doesn't go anywhere, and there is, like, an epilogue that's like, okay, is Zdarsky going to do another thing for a sequel bait? I don't know. Hopefully he does. But as it stands, and I don't know if Marvel's going to do more with the What If comic. It's not like with the Life Story series, where it's clearly like they want to make that into a new comic series from Spider-Man Life Story to now Fantastic Four Life Story, which I really want to read. And I'm really hoping, and I'll get more into it, like, with Life Story, but I would love to see Marvel do a Hulk Life Story comic. That'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, if you're looking for something cool, for, like, if you had fun with What If and you like more symbiote stuff, check out Spider-Man Spider Shadow. It's a nice little miniseries, and if you just ignore the sequel bait page, it's a really nice open-shut story. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Spider-Man Spider Shadow? Like it, hate it, comment below, let me know, and as always, if you haven't already, hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon for exclusive content. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.